Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Heroes World Quarantine Edition podcast. I'm your host, Stew. I am here with the proprietors and owners, of course, of Heroes World. That would be Jon and Andre. Say hello to the people at home.
Howdy, folks.
What's up?
And, of course, with the resident prince of mischief himself, Rob Gaudet.
Stu, can I just say I actually miss your pandemic beard?
That makes only a few people. My wife is so happy it's gone.
Small market.
So happy.
I actually have the trimmings that are on eBay. If anybody wants to.
Fantastic, yet scary at the same time.
And
And
great
finally,
Christmas gift.
special guest star, Tim. How are you doing, Tim?
Hello.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
joining us.
having me. Thank you.
Awesome. So, of course, the Here's World podcast is typically conversations we have in the store. We're just recording them and sending out to the rest of the world in these scary and weird times because you can't be in the store with us. So let's share it with the world. So today we are talking about the latest episode of The Mandalorian, Chapter 12. Here we go. Ooh. Can you not show us your opinion right off the bat?
Sorry.
Spoilers. All right. First segment, which is my favorite segment, is the Andre tells us about the episode without giving us his opinion. And please do not use the word inept or incompetent because that gives it away. Andre,
that's
I
part
see
of
what
his
you're trying to
description.
do. I let you get away with that stuff, but this week I'm going to make it harder and harder.
Okay.
To follow the
Okay.
rules.
Andre's
Plot
a pro. He
summary
can do it.
without adjectives to tell how dumb or how smart the Mandalorian is.
All right. In this episode, we follow the Mandalorian and the child as they continue on their quest to find the origins of the child. This time, the Mandalorian knows he cannot make it to his destination and he must return back to his original port of call and try and enlist his friends to get the Razor Crest back up and running. And once he returns, he sees a beautiful new reinvigorated outpost and Cara Dune, and is now named the Marshal, and the
Correct.
town is all, let's say, it's just looking good, but there is something sinister on the horizon. There's an old abandoned Imperial base that needs to be taken out for this quadrant of the galaxy to be safe, and the Mando is enlisted to help out his old friends so that he could get his trusty Razor Crest repaired and, shall we say, fixed for the journey. So that's the episode.
Fantastic. That was the best one yet, Andre.
That was
Congratulations.
pretty clean, Andre.
Thank you. Thank
Man.
you.
Way to
Now,
go, buddy.
that's our favorite segment.
And he didn't
So now
even
that's
make any
complete.
faces indicating that he was displeased with it. You could have
I will watch
aired
back
that.
to see the micro movements in his face to see how far it's going. But as
We're
of
gonna-
now,
Yeah, we'll
Excellent
hire
poker face.
someone. We'll
I
hire
would make-
a professional.
yeah. If you missed it before and we didn't record it, we made a couple John Cena jokes, and John, of course, fell for it.
Fall for it every friggin' time.
Every single time.
Every time.
So
I
now
don't have
we're
my John
gonna go
Cena figure
full
here.
spoilers because frankly, if you're listening to us, you probably want to know what's going on. But that was fun for us and Andre. So we're going to talk about the Mandalorian, full spoilers, full everything. So the warning is happening now. I'm going to let Tim, as our guest, give us his thoughts on the episode. Please, Tim, go for it.
So when I started coming on this podcast, I always worried that I would say something horrible that I'd have to apologize to everybody for, make some sort of comment that I have to go on social media and apologize like people do. I feel like this is the moment. I now have to apologize to everybody for liking The Mandalorian for so long and telling people to watch it, because now I am officially Team Andre on this. I am done with The Mandalorian. What do you want me to say? This everything that
one episode turn.
Yeah.
I know you didn't.
No.
Fan of the last episode, right?
It's been edging that way. This podcast, Andre has been educating me to look at it from that different perspective. But this one is another 100% blow off episode. Nothing happens. There's no point to this episode. If we had a map of like the galaxy of where he was going, like, sometimes when you miss your turn on your GPS and you see that blue line going right back to where you were, you're like, damn it.
U-turn. Make a U-turn.
This is Mando's journey. It's like a friggin' circle that he just keeps backtracking on the same places. at this point, the Jedis are going to be on that same planet this whole time. Like he's going nowhere, and he just keeps circling back to the same area. And to Andre's point in the last few weeks, right? Every time he's trying to get to this place and he keeps getting suckered into these missions. This is another one where it's like, wait a second, why are you doing this now? Like there's another, this one, I mean, I gave him a pass on the Cobb Vanth because he was trying to save a settlement. But in this case, this town, like as Andre said in the description, it's bustling, it's fine. They don't seem to be under any like imperial
Navarro, I think it's called
tyranny.
Navarro, right?
Yep. Yeah, there's nothing going on. I don't see.
All right.
Anyway,
so you're just upset because it's been a long time getting from here.
Taking the long way.
We have no
that's pretty much
episodes to waste. No episodes to waste at this point. You're halfway through the season, and we are 0 further.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's your point, that they're not going as fast as you want. All
But
right.
the Razor Crest was not going to make it to the next step. The next
Mon
waypoint.
calamari fishnets. We're not going to get them.
The next checkpoint. Yeah, the next checkpoint. It wasn't going to make it.
Carry on. All right. We're done with that. Rob, go.
I don't have any props with me like Tim did. But I'm leaning towards Team Andre for this week's episode. I actually don't know what this week's the point. What was the point? Like, I get that your arguments that you had kind of just made and John made is that, well, the Razor Crest has to get it and it can't be held, so it needs to stop off. Okay, the Incredible Hulk TV show was canceled because every week it was the same thing: going to Newtown, helping people out, and then leaving. There was no progression. It was just singular stories. Shit. Well, you did, but after a while, once you got to season 4, you're like, okay, it's the same thing over. What was the point of this, aside from showcasing?
And I will explain all of it afterwards.
Aside from showcasing Gina Carano and Apollo Creed, what was the whole point of this thing? As far as I'm concerned, the point was to the very end. It was just showcasing the very end, the last shot with Moff Gideon. That was it. Mm-hmm. But we talked about this in past episodes. Let's progress. We need to progress and get towards our mission. Now, I have read that next week's episode is supposed to be where you meet up with Ahsoka Tano. Great, but it's taken a long way to get there. I'm
one extra episode.
We built off the last 2. I know that Andre wasn't a fan of the spider, the October or whatever it was, the second episode, but I felt it built up. Last week's was really good, and then all of a sudden we went right back down again. I'm like, I don't get it. So listen, what was the point of this week's episode? If it was just to showcase that last 15 seconds,
I'm ready to rebut, but again, I'm going to go to Andre. And are you complete? Are you finished?
Yeah. Well, yes, I'm done. I mean, I'm not done with the show, but I'm done with this episode.
All right, Andre, we're going to let you give your one massive point because there's a lot of rebuttal. Go ahead.
All right, great. So, yes, Tim, said it like I handed him notes, but I didn't. Rob is, again, hitting that point. But let's just talk about the series as a whole. And in that first episode, we saw, I'm talking about the very first episode. So we see the disheveled stormtroopers, remember, at that base, and they looked run down, and it was like an Imperial, like they were like out of a warehouse, and there was like all of 5 stormtroopers, right? And this is where the Mandalorian drops off the child, and we have the doctor saying, oh, I'm gonna do this experiment or whatever. We don't know. Well, if there was a goddamn Imperial base on this planet the whole goddamn time, why the shit was the child not brought there instantly? Right? Because these guys can't write. Then we fast forward, hey, let's plant a bug on the Mandalorian ship. Damn, if the guy was watching the Mandalorian, he could have called the Imperials and said, hey, the Mandalorian and the Warden just left, and I think the child's in this daycare. Why don't we grab the child now? Again, because these guys can't goddamn write. And
the door wasn't working. They tried to write it in.
It is just absolutely appalling at how bad the writing is. I want Stu to rebut it because guess what? There is absolutely no justification. Period. End. Stop. Go.
I like how Stu's cracking his neck, like he's about to enter the third round.
He's ready.
Yeah, he's like, all right.
What you don't hear is the background that people are chanting Kumite, in the background. I'm ready to go.
Can I just ask
Jon,
one
please,
quick thing
go for it.
too?
John, go.
Oh no, so Tim had
I just want to say,
Your time is over, Tim. John,
It was
go.
a question. He said a question. He wanted to ask a question.
I'll go afterwards, but John, we need to let the flow go. John, go.
Okay, so you guys are harsh on my guy here. My guy, Carl Weathers, 71 years old, the Dancing Destroyer, the Prince of Punch, the Count of Monte Fisto, the one, the only, the Apollo Creed comes in to direct an episode. So what he did is he brought that 80s flair to that episode, complete with a bar fight, Gina Carretto showing that she can kick some serious ass and doing it very well. You can definitely believe she can pick those guys up and chuck them around. And then you had a wicked kind of basically a truck car chase with that thingamabobber, the troop carrier, which I definitely want to buy one now.
For what?
And he just had some fun. Yes, I see Andre's criticism with the dialogue and such. You know, the whole like, you know, what if I shave off yours whatever sentence by 30 years or whatever. But those are quotes that kids are going to be saying and things like that, you know, that it'll be fun.
I
with
would
that.
love for my son and his friends to go to school next week and being like, hey, you owe me 130 years. Well, if you do this, I'll shave 30 years off your life sentence.
Yeah, it's like silly. It's like silly
They're
stuff
not
that's
going
going to
to
happen.
quote any of that.
Anyways, with my boy here, Dylan himself, the son of a bitch, he brings us a great lesson with what is going on with the Mandalorian. And you guys, 1, 2, 3, you guys are coming in like Ivan Drago trying to kill a man when this is an exhibition, boys. This is just an exhibition. So unlike Carl Weathers, who originally didn't want to have Apollo Creed die, wanted to throw in the towel, you guys are asking all these fans watching this show to throw in the towel.
I'm not.
During this exhibition.
Tim's
So
ready to throw
I think what you're missing is this show is building assets. Look at all that stuff on the screen. Look at those butt face aliens. There was 3 of them. Did there need to be 3 or 4 of them? No, but you know what's going to happen? Andre, your show, Obi-Wan, maybe that's going to be the show for you. They're going to be able to use all this stuff, all these hallways, all these costumes, all these props, all these vehicles, all these renders, everything they're going to be able to use. And I'll let Stu do all the heavy lifting because I think I made my point. It's just an exhibition, guys. It's an exhibition.
Tim,
when you're 12 episodes in, it shouldn't be an exhibition.
No, it's an exhibition. You know when shows burn off too quickly? Like if you've ever watched Sons of Anarchy or some of those other shows where they advance the story too far. We could have lived with the biker gang doing regular biker gang stuff for, you know, like a couple extra seasons instead of season 2 immediately getting into murdering and destroying women and all kinds of ridiculous stuff that got into.
Wait a minute, are you an expert on biker gangs? I'm fairly certain that's kind of in their motive. Like,
but they definitely went too far. Like a lot of these shows, they go too far and then they want to have lots of seasons. So Mandalorian is here for the long count and they want the rewatchability. They don't want to fire off 2 seasons and murder all their characters just to advance the story. And then no one's going to go back and stream this. This is their main Disney. This is their Disney Plus showcase. That they're going to have everyone constantly stream. You can just keep watching those episodes because
this isn't
you know
the episode,
they have some fun.
All right, Rob, you got to quiet because I told Tim to be quiet several times and you're jumping the gun. I might have to mute you. Tim, you have your question.
Sorry, John. John actually segued into what my question was going to be. I don't think Carl Weathers has ever directed anything before. Like when I was looking, I couldn't find anything he's directed.
TV shows.
I don't know. I just
give
feel
the
like
man a chance.
Why are you? But this is not the show. We want to give people chances.
It is the perfect show.
This isn't an off-Broadway play. This isn't an off-Broadway play or some sort of like nothing. Like this
to be fair,
Disney's.
Tim, it works. It outside of Andre would disagree thoroughly with me, but it works for most Marvel movies. You put a person in place who's malleable, who's flexible, and it's like here are the parameters if we want the episode, and you just do it. They don't want outside of the box people because guess what? Outside the box, people like Edgar Wright leave the movie.
Yes.
Or
and
like
he's
the
got
Batman
the potential
TV
to bring 2 buddies.
Constructive.
He's got 2 buddies. Sorry, Steve.
Just like I love Donald Glover, but Donald Glover was doing the Deadpool show and all of a sudden like, oh, we can't let you do that. He's like, well, I'm leaving. You can't, the creative nature of it, if you're too smart and too creative and you try to fit in the box system of Hollywood, that's it. They're like, especially with large properties, no. They just want people that can fit in, do the job, carry on.
Yeah, but you've got
season 3, his 2 buddies. One right here, Stallone. Buddy number 2, Schwarzenegger himself.
Just to support
So
To support John, though, Carl Weathers has directed a bunch of television episodes.
we're not giving him a
Yeah.
movie. We're
No.
giving him a TV show.
Yeah, that's what he's directed
Yeah.
some TV shows.
Yep. Exactly.
71 years
Seventh
old.
Heaven.
Yeah.
Like, how cool is that?
No.
That he gets to direct a Star Wars
Silk
episode?
stockings.
Oh my god!
I like
that
how
was a good
Tim just
episode.
Tim is like, this is like the intern who's like, Tim, I would like your job. You're like, whoa, you got to start somewhere. So this is look at the director of Wonder Woman. Where did she start with? TV shows. She built up the repertoire, did Game of Thrones, negotiated with Marvel for the Dark World, and said no to this hot trash, and then she did Wonder Woman. Good for her. That's the way to do it. So nonetheless, Tim,
Andre's
I'm carrying on because you've had your punt. I gave you your time allocated to do your punches, and that's it. You're done. All right. So to Andre's points, I do not disagree with all of Andre's points. I think just like we said it numerous times before, it's just like a horror movie. If logic was the dictation of all these, this episode would be over. The series would be over in a day. Mandalorian probably just shot the kid and carried on. Like, why do I care about this kid? But this is a television show, and this is something that's going forward. So therefore, he's going to make mistakes. As to Rob's point, this was a great history lesson for all the nerds out there who learn about the travel paths. Like, again, learning about the Carillion trade routes in the background, learning about the M counts, learn the deep cuts of learning about. That's how, by the way, a whole war, aka the Clone Wars, happened because of Trade Federation routes and an argument over that.
They're not giving you any of this, man.
They did. They did. They talked about it.
You're making up so much stuff. It's not even funny.
I'm not making up anything, Andre. It happened in the show and talked about in the background. So therefore, that's it. I'm just
Mandalorian backtracking. They're talking about trade routes and space routes. I don't get it, man. Like, honestly,
I gave you an opportunity to talk, Andre, and you are now impeding on my time. So is that fair or not?
Go. Sorry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So I'm just saying that this was a lesson that for if you want to do deep cuts, again, honoring the past and honoring the future. They've talked about the Mandalorian counts. They've talked about these clones and talking about potentially this could be Snoke. This could be things. They are juggling a lot of balls right now in terms of old and new. And yes, not everyone's going to like the fact that they're not zoning in on the one part of Star Wars that they grew up loving. But essentially, yes, to Andre's point, why wouldn't they take it to the main base? I don't have the answer for that. But I do know in terms of hiding the fact that the Empire is strong is a brilliant move by them. If they look disheveled and like the Empire's not here, it goes under the radar for the rebellion to not be able to suss them out. Even when Appa was like, oh, there's news of the Outer Rim. Where did the New Order come from? The Outer Rim. And again, the C-3PO droid was talking about the different levels of space, if you're listening to the background and closed captioning, about the levels of space out there to learn about the Outer Rim and the inner core and the core worlds. So again, something is happening outside in the Outer Rims, and that's why he asked, had that nice conversation with Cara Dune about, hey, I heard you were part of that you were part of, the rebellion and the whole conversation about Alderaan. So yes, to Tim's point and to Rob's point, your point, it's not as fast, but it's all about the long game. I'm fine with it going slow. Just like the Witcher, you're not complaining the Witcher's not going fast enough. The Witcher's fine. It's the Witcher. So I think that we just have to recognize how the speed of the show is going. And that's fine. Again, it's not going to hyperspace. It's taking the slow route. But
Sorry, but yeah, I think from a technical standpoint, if you are asking people to focus on background conversations as opposed to what's happening in front, that you're asking a lot for the median audience.
But the median audience was never going to care anyways. But I'm just saying, for me, it was nice to hear that information. And for people that like yourself, you even said last week, hey, maybe this is the rationale for you to watch Rebels. Like maybe John was talking about too. Like if this gets you on, it's like I heard this peripheral in the background. It's just like drilling into the back of your brain. These conversations about hey, the outer worlds, the core worlds, the outer rim. All the M counts. Bo-Katan. Like this is what is gathering people to the new Star Wars stuff, which is whether it's the new stuff in books, the old stuff which is the cartoons, or the new stuff which is the movies.
I will say from a technical standpoint, I thought it visually looked great. You didn't look cheap, like we talked about and John mentioned the race and everything else like that. That was great. The only quibble I have technically was that last shot. I had a difficult time making out as the shot was panning back, is making out those outfits. I don't know if they were at first, like I said to my son, are those supposed to be Darth Vader clones? Because you really couldn't see it, right? Like I'm watching it on an Apple 4K, I have a 4K, and I couldn't make it out. So I just
I don't know if they want to fully show the armor, because I think it's still part of a reveal. And if you're deep diving to look into the, the Dark Trooper armor or whatnot, like if that ties in the video games, then that's great for us too, because it's another LucasArts special.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
some
again,
people are speculating that it could be the Dark Troopers or Shadow Troopers or
the Terminators.
Spray painted.
Like I agree with you. Maybe the lighting would, but again, it might be on purpose to just not show, for example, Bear go through a window and kill a man, because then it leaves some mysteriousness out there, like outside of Lost. So,
but
this is the thing.
Stu, you make a really good point about like the pacing of the show. But again, what if they slowed down the pacing enough where, like, let's say he flies back to this place and he's got to repair his ship, and he spends 2 days there because the ship's got to be repaired. But usually what's happening everywhere he goes, you don't even get the sense that it's a day. Like, he lands here, doesn't go into a hotel or whatever and rest. Like, not saying they have to show that, but what if they said, hey, we'll put you up for the night, tomorrow we'll have breakfast and I have a plan for you. But this time he rolls into the town, gets the mission, goes, blows up a base, and the ship is repaired back. And there's no shipyard, there's no bay, and he's just flying it like a boss. I'm like, everything's happening so fast. So if they wanted to slow it down, why couldn't they say, oh yeah, hey, we can put the child in this daycare for a couple of days while you do this. It's like everything's happening so fast, yet nothing is progressing, right? So there's, sure, if they want to go in for the deep dive, that would be awesome. What if, again, you want to slow it down? Cara Dune goes, hey, I rescued these items from the Mandalorian stronghold. Do you want to go through? Maybe it could give you a hint to where your people are. That's slowing it down. But then again, we've got these episodes, the last 2 episodes, and they're 35 minutes each, right? Yet we're going to get all of these, like jokes about the guy. Like, I don't care about the blue face guy. Like, any screen time with that's a waste, considering you want to build on the other characters and stuff like that. So you can have slow episodes that actually give you plot or give you information or slow the pace down so you can stretch things out. But this isn't it. It's wall-to-wall action. Okay, look, love it. I love the Stormtroopers.
Okay,
great.
Okay,
but
I get it. Like, again, your arguments, Andre, I'm not complaining. I was going to also bring up the fact that the ship got fixed way too fast. Like, it makes no sense how it did overnight. I guess I don't know. I'm not a big enough nerd to understand.
What was that wire going to fix and carry them along their journey? If
I don't understand the day cycle.
That was terrible.
Okay, like, I don't understand the day cycle in the universe. I don't know the 2 suns, how long the days are. So I'll just leave it up like that. But yes, there were some issues in terms of that. Andre, did not like Green Arrow because the pacing was awful in the first season, because also he wasn't the Green Arrow, who's the Hood. So I understand why you're not liking, the show, as it's because, again, it's wasting the potential. That was my whole point about the first season of Arrow, was that I felt that they were wasting what this was. And I can see why, even though you love Star Wars, you feel like they're wasting the potential of the Mandalorian and not fully utilizing it. So I understand that argument. And again, it's only giving Easter eggs for nerds like me, who clearly pay attention to the background and listen to the fact that they fully went into full detail of the 7 rings of the universe, which, again, probably most people don't know. There are 7 sections of the Star Wars universe, and carry on and carry on and carry on. Tim, I want to give you some final thoughts before we leave, because we're coming to an end.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I just.
So are you really, like, my question to you, are you really, like, if you say you're going to quit, then you're going to quit and not watch anything else.
Of course, I'm not going to quit. But like, am I going to now start playing my Switch while I watch? Yeah, probably, because now it's losing me. And I will say, we talk about this show. Sometimes it's funny, because sometimes you guys talk about the fact that this is meant for a wider audience, sometimes more for just the strict Star Wars fans. I like that it was a balance at the beginning, because for me, like, I'm able to watch it with my wife, who has no interest in Star Wars. But the show did capture her. The first season, it captured her. She was interested in it. Of course, it's because of Baby Yoda. But we were watching it together. And now, over the last couple, I look over and she's like, this is stupid. Like, even she, and, I maybe she listens to this podcast, but even she is like totally on team Andre without knowing it. Like even she is going like, okay, nothing's happening. Like, why are we watching this? Like it's just like, because we set aside the Friday night to watch this show, right? And I feel like for all the fans like her, for all the people that aren't huge Star Wars fans, I don't know that this is going to continue to capture you. And I feel like Disney wanted this to do that. So that's what's a little bit upsetting. But of course I'll keep watching, but it's losing it for sure. It's got to pick up.
Yeah, I think that to your point, Tim, they are trying so hard to get all the vectors, and they're losing people like Andre who are the nerds, and then they're moving. This year, they're pivoting more towards storylines and plot details of people that know the show already. And then to Andre's point, they're not fully utilizing them. They're just dropping them in, but not giving them proper backstories. And then you're like, who are these people? And people lose thoughts of who Bo-Katan is. Like, Bo-Katan's there, but not fully there. And people who don't know Bo-Katan could give a flying fadoo. So this is again, we have 4 episodes remaining. We'll see what happens for the Star Wars series. Nonetheless, it's still probably Disney's most successful property at this standpoint. So we say la vie and see what happens. Maybe he'll turn it around. But
can I ask one question to all of us here? Why do you think they're only doing the 35-minute episodes? Like, would 45 kill the budget in the show? Like, what do you guys think that is?
Potentially. If you saw that ship land and all the sides of the if you rewatch that plane when Razor Crest lands, you see all the panels shake and you can actually see the inner details of it. They are honestly using a lot of money, like theatrical budget money on special effects, and that's expensive.
That carrier looks cool.
Super expensive if you think about the count of what you cost to do that special effects compared to like the Rebels TV show. The Rebels TV show, when you're an artist, you do like 5-6 minutes a week. I think you do like 5 to like 10 minutes a week that's what you do when it comes to CGI rendering. But for motion picture, you do like a minute a week. So they just can't do like the rendering for ships and stuff. Like, it's too expensive and takes too long. So they can't do enough models to make it that way.
But I mean, like, could they like spend other time not being special effects heavy? Like could all
and again, we don't know what the process is for this whole 3D screen thing. Like, this may be just, again, this is not sharing the numbers of production
after a half
costs.
an hour, so they can only get a half an hour.
No, maybe there's not a lot of extra footage to run those screens. So normally directors would have like an extra length of footage to cut into. Maybe they have very limited footage, so it ends up getting cut down. Maybe they aim for like 40-50 minutes, but it always gets cut down because maybe the takes weren't good or delivery wasn't good.
I think we can all agree. I think we can all agree, if you are going to go 45-50 minutes, this week's episode isn't the one that should have been longer.
Yeah.
So
well, maybe something could have happened.
Yeah,
like I think there's a balance, but I think that they probably talk to the people out there is like, what's the right amount of time? And I'm fine that they don't have to be constrained with the extra 2 minutes. Like, I liked how they did the persons of interest like style of John Reese would walk in a room, instead of beating everyone up, they just cut to the next scene where all the guys are passed out on the floor. It's like, I don't need to see the Mandalorian fly up there and shoot people in the back just for them to die. I liked it when they got there. He's like, okay, they're all dead. He's like, I took care of them. Like, but to your point, Andre, yes, you would want them to utilize the save time, not just save time just for what? For no reason. And clearly they're cutting time, but not utilizing the amount. But again, we don't know budgets, and maybe this is just the start, and maybe in the future they'll spend more, but we'll see. All right, John and Andre, where can people find you guys on the internet?
So most active on social medias are Facebook and Instagram, Heroes World Online. You can message us through those easiest methods. And then if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, please subscribe, also Heroes World Online. And if you're listening to us audio-wise, please subscribe or whatever you're on there. And if you happen to be on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating if you can, and maybe a quick review. It helps us out a lot.
Andre?
And I'm in the store, as I like to say, in the desert of the real. We are just in Markham, which is outside of the GTA, 8601 Warden Avenue. That's Warden Highway 7. Lots of parking, lots of other things in the plaza to do. We are practicing all the safety measures, social distancing, cleaning, hand sanitizer. And we also have a store limit of the number of people in store, which we tend not to hit. I think the number of people we can have in the store is 10. So come out and see us. Or if you're not comfortable seeing us, reach out to us either on the phone or via email, and we'll get your purchase ready for curbside pickup or we can potentially arrange for delivery or shipping out to you. And I do want to put out this message because where we're at right now, like I said, we're outside the GTA, and Toronto and surrounding areas have gone into a lockdown. So guys, please, if you're listening out there, if you can in any way, shape, or form support a local small business, at this point, I think I'm going to beg you to do it, because our friends in Toronto that are shut down again, and it's a 28-day shutdown, this is going to shatter businesses and stuff. So if you can at all, I know a lot of people might not be doing Christmas as big or something like that, but listen, go out and buy something from your local small business store. We've been doing a great job trying to support restaurants, but now we got to really talk about the small retail boutique shops. Man, this is going to kill them that they're closed for the holiday season. This 28 lockdown is going to take them till past Christmas shopping. So again, if you can, give them a phone call, an email, say we support you, buy something, anything. A $5 purchase, trust me, is going to go a long way for them. So please, and take care of yourselves and stay safe and everything, but please try and think of other businesses if you can.
Well said, Andre. Well said. Rob, where can they find you?
Yeah, so I am on the Twitter and Instagram at Rob Gadet. You can also, you're listening to this on Sunday, so join us tomorrow. John, we're live, I believe. Yep. So at 8 o'clock tomorrow on the Heroes World Facebook page, on the YouTube account. If you're watching this on YouTube, we are live. Twitch starting at 8 o'clock. Yeah, on Twitch, wicked. And so we will be
we're on Twitch now? Yep.
So I'm
joining on Twitch tomorrow.
We're going to be going over the week's new releases in the store, and then some breaking news that came out in this past week, including Wonder Woman 84 and Deadpool. So join us live tomorrow, and we'll be answering a lot of your questions and comments.
Tim, where can they find you?
XX_Timboslice_XX, and you'll see me in the store shopping, getting Christmas gifts for everybody, finding something that fits for them.
Yeah. Again, to Andre's point, please be safe out there. Please look after each other and look after small business, and have a great one. Again, comment below if your thoughts on whether you're Team Andre or not, whether you're ready to bounce.
Just an exhibition, guys. It's an exhibition.
I'm a long hauler. I'm ready. I'm willing to take my time. This is really gonna enjoy it like a nice bottle of scotch. This is not, this is not an old English where I'm just.
You don't drink.
So I do. I have a lot of scotch. Let us have a wonderful day out there, and comment, share, and let us know your thoughts. See you guys later. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.